Hi there everybody, it's Glendora, and we're going to talk to George McDermott in the Washington, D.C. area. And how are you today? A monumental thing is going on, and I've asked George to be so kind to explain it to you. I think it's of utter concern to you. Excuse me, folks. Excuse me.
A summary from Carla McLaren.
I mishandled this phone. And I'm still mishandling it. Call McDermott, please.
Here is some information about Vermont. Vermont is a state in the northeastern United States.
I'm still mishandling it. Okay. Call McDermott. Okay.
Calling McDermott Mobile.
Hello, George McDermott. This is Glendora.
How are you doing, Miss Glendora?
Oh, 100%. Thank you. You filed a monumental paper on Tuesday, June the 12th. I would like to hear about it.
Okay. I filed it. It's from George McDermott, U.S. citizen, to the Office of the High Commissioner for the International Human Rights, OHCHR, Para the Nations, 1211 Geneva, Switzerland, 10 Switzerland. I sent it by registered mail, cost $65.
$65. And was it one package, George?
Yes, I'm losing you.
Oh, you are. You don't hear me?
Are you moving or am I moving?
Okay, you do not hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
All right, let's try that for a while. If the transmission fades, I will have to go outdoors.
Okay.
All right, let's go as far as we can.
Okay. Dear Sir, Madam, I am communicating as the author's own behalf, being hereafter identified as George Edward McDermott, Sr., hereafter petitioner, nationally U.S. citizen, born June 12, 1945, presently residing at 143 North Huron Drive, Beach, Maryland, 20745, on behalf of myself, my family, and also being a citizen of the member states, hereafter respondents, petitioners who are subject to ongoing, ever-enlarging political/judicial tyranny and political corruption in our nation's legal system, which is subject to international law based on the treaties entered into by previous legislative members, respondent state operating as United States of America in Washington, D.C. as its capital, where 70, where our 70 the United States to a specific treaty for internet rights guaranteed wherein the respondent state is now in direct violation of hold on, I'm going to enlarge this for just a second, okay?
Sure, take your time.
International human rights guaranteed wherein respondent state is now in direct violation of the December 9th, 1945 International Organization Community Act, which relinquished public office of the United States to the nation C. 22 CFR 92 period 12 period 31 FR heading Foreign Relations. Hi, Commissioner, I am contacting your office as a citizen of the respondent's incorporated state trading as the United States of America, Inc., in which is listed as a member state as of January 1st, 2018, being number one of 107 member states. Hi, Commissioner, after reading recent articles in the Washington Post newspaper, Section 8, page 18, published May 20th, 2018, in the Amanda Mallet case, which clearly indicates that citizens of citing states can lawfully petition the Commissioner for relief when petitioner and others' legal rights, liberties, and properties have been legally seized or withheld from them by the preponderance of states in direct violation of the December 1945 International Organization of Unity Act. I am submitting this formal request for assistance. As petitioner, I will follow the format laid out in the Commission's model complaint form. Petitioner is making a complaint not only on the behalf of himself and his family, but also on behalf of victims deceased of their rights as interviewed at respondents' systems, whose stories are posted at secretjustice.com, where there are 1,180 programs showing the pattern of abuse, deprivation of legal rights, deprivation of civil rights, false imprisonment by sham courts, and respondent states engaged in theft from homes, businesses, and properties by state actors who have overtaken our state nation's courts system under fraud and sham pretenses, violating the UN treaties, our Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, both respondent states and respondent federal actors. Paragraph 3, petitioner's concern being brought to the Office of the High Commissioner and to the Office of the Human Rights Council, reporting violations of the petitioners and other rights by the respondent states for the last 23 years. Petitioners' complaints is supported by this fact finding, backed up by 18,000 docket entries involving over 120 court cases, evidencing petitioners' legal efforts trying to protect and preserve the legal and human rights of the petitioner and his family. Not to mention untold numbers of victims who have illegally been disseized of their legal rights by alleged named and unnamed officers of the courts of the United States of America, respondents and 50 private state corporations operating as for-profit businesses across North America contain continent. But insider respondents now operating with complete disrespect for the rule of law and their oath of office, which appear to bind respondent state agents to international laws and statutes published. See the December 1945 International Organization Immunity Act relinquished every public office of the United States to the United Nations. 22 CFR 92-12-92 period 31 FR heading Foreign Relations states that the oath of office is required to take. 1 second, please. Okay. Petitioner now formally states for the record that the complaint petitioner asserts that the Incorporated Respondents State of the United States of America, Inc. and its sworn officers in their legislative and judicial capacities and knowingly with evil intent and purpose acted to deliberately breach the intent and purpose of the 79th Congress's authorization of UN treaty agreements outlined under Title 8, 22 and 28 USC in December 26, 1933-49 Statute 3097, Treaty Series 881, Convention of Rights, Outlines of States, stated Congress replaced statutes with international law as known by this body, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. Specific allegations include signature state respondents, agents, and their willful violation of law. Enumerated under the treaty activating this body's jurisdiction. And it goes down. A. Model complaint form states one should identify the convention's article alleged violations by respondents / or their supporting petitioners claim for relief from the body according to the rules. B. Petitioner asserts that the evidence both from the court records of the respondent states archived in the Maryland archives and are irrefutable evidence that the discriminatory practices of the respondent states, agents, assignments, and officers' failure to perform honest services and to protect the legal rights and human rights of the petitioner and his family, and 90% plus of all victims of the discriminatory practices of the respondents, agents, courts of law, and equity. Sections violated are as follows. Article 1, which states that human beings are born free and equal in dignity and right. They are endowed with reason and conscience, and they should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Period. Respondent state actors discriminate against all unincorporated minorities, disadvantaged individuals being victimized compromised by corporate white-collar crimes. See supporting evidence. B2. The Article 2 which states that everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in the Declaration, period. The state actors discriminated against petitioner in 97.46% of all citizens attempting to exercise their rights in the state courts lawfully under 28 U.S.C. 1654 by setting up a class-based system favoring corporations over natural citizens. See supporting evidence. Article 3, B3. Article violates, which states that everyone has a right to life, liberty, and security of a person. Respondents are not upholding their legal responsibilities, recording of their oath of office, 1,180 programs as a test to video record of respondent states, abusive process, discriminatory practices, and supporting evidence. See videos posted at secretjustice.com 01 through 1180 under best evidence. B4 article violates Article 4, which states that no one shall be held in slavery or servitude, and to slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Respondents, state actors failure to perform honest services is subject to petitioners and subjected petitioners and millions of others to debt slavery while stealing their property, allowing court insiders to use forged, falsified affidavits and court documents as well as unsigned orders. See supporting evidence. Over 100 million Americans are presently debt slaves to corporate insiders. B4, which states that no one shall be held in slavery or servitude, slavery. I just read that one. Are you still there, Glendora?
Yes.
Okay, 5.
Now wait a second. How much longer is this?
Well, you said you wanted me to read. That's what I told you. I see what we got.
How much longer is it?
It's about 5 pages, 6 pages, okay?
And how many pages have we done?
We've done 2. Yep.
Okay, let's go for page 3.
Okay. I think I was on B6, right? Okay. 5, B6. Which states Article 6? Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Respondents submitted the possibility that directing 97.4 of litigants' actions at law in favor of corporate lawyers and corporate banking forged documents, falsified notaries, and unsigned orders. Article 8, which states that everyone has the right to effective remedy by a competent national tribunal for acts violating the fundamental rights guaranteed him by the Constitution, bylaws of the respondent states, have made it an impossibility for natural citizens to receive any justice in our nation's courts, where the courts its agents, insiders, falsely asserting lack of jurisdiction, denying 90% of our citizens access to courts, plus only 2% of citizens attending a jury trial are ever allowed to see, have a jury, see evidence. Article 7 violated, which states no one shall be subject to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Respondents, agents, and arbitrarily arrest pro se litigants and other citizens pursuing their equal rights in court through phony psych evaluations and confinement in mental institutions to protect corporate insiders and their lawyers, stealing their properties, and divesting citizens of their legal right to free access to American courts. See evidence. Article 10, which states everyone is entitled to full equality and to fair public hearings by independent, impartial tribunals, and discrimination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charges against him. Petitioner's record supplied to this court and memorialized in the archives of the United States of America, the Maryland State. The state respondents controlled repositories clearly shows that the respondents' agents are not acting in conformance with this article. 90% of all disadvantaged persons are subject to economic terrorism by the respondents, courts, and their agents acting in conflict with UN treaty agreements and see evidence presented.
Is that the end of page 3?
That was the end of page 3, yes.
Now, George, would you please state it in summary, in your words? You've done a brilliant job of showing where they have violated your rights and the laws that you protect you. Now, would you just summarize it in your own words?
Well, to summarize, it's very easy. We were all brought up to believe that we lived in a society that cherished the rule of law and that our Constitution and our Bill of Rights protected us from unlawful infringement on these rights. And if we operated within the Constitution and Bill of Rights, we would have the right to prosper and to multiply and to build businesses and protect our families and do humanitarian work. With the courts of the United States and the United Nations, by allowing these courts to act outside of the norms published in our U.S. Constitution and also the International Human Rights treaties that they've entered into, they have made virtually the top 13% of the population in the world, including banks, judges, lawyers, the wealthiest people, are turning everyone else in the world into debt slaves. We work to pay their taxes, to pay them, and they basically have pulled the wool over our eyes, and they have do not perform the honest services in accordance with their oath of office or the legislative attempt. And by that, every day, the list of victims grows exponentially, and if we don't do something to stop this, then it will be irreversible, and we will wind up being a satellite country of China or Russia or someplace else that's going to call the debt because of the wasteful misconduct of our Congress and lawmakers to hold their associate departments accountable for doing less job for a paycheck. That's it.
Well, now,
And you just have to stand up and fight.
now, point out to the people that you are appealing to international law and not to United States law.
Well, you know, you never knew that this act of 1933, 1945, or 1948, these were never brought up on a constitutional amendment. These were changes. These are legislative changes, which I believe are 100% unconstitutional, because you should never have the power to change the Constitution of the United States of America, try and get into private corporations, for-profit corporations controlled by the very people who are voting for the legislation.
But you have given up the possibility that you will get justice through that. You are going to an international court.
Yes, I am, and that's why I'm going there, because of that treaty. I'm going there because that's what we're supposed to do. You know, I have exercised. I've done went through all the exercises in the state and federal courts, and I submitted along with this evidence of over 300 unsigned orders that I have received over the past since 2006, when the Prince George's County Circuit Court in an order of August 17, 2006 responded and denied it. It says 8 places in the order. Second-class citizen George McDermott, order is denied. Second-class citizen order request is denied. Second-class citizen is denied. So I'm a second-class citizen. I put that order right in as an attachment to you, so that people can see that the arrogant disrespect that the judges had. I won that case on a jury trial. This, after I won it on a jury trial and won it 3 times on appeal, then this new judge comes in and starts this crap about me being a second-class citizen. Well,
Now,
you made me a second-class citizen, so I'm, I've made a record that I feel is confident enough to go to the. I read it off yesterday, so it is going to the Court of International Justice.
George, by unsigned orders, you mean judges doing a rubber stamp?
No, it's not even a judge. It's a court doing a rubber stamp. You don't see a signature on it anywhere. And every time you go into the court, you see, and it's a rubber stamp, says denied. Judge's signature on original. So I go into the court the very next day to the appellate courts and say, I'd like to see this original. I'd like to see the signature. And I probably have 150 videos of me going into the court and making, and every time I went in there, it's the same rubber stamp that I got. There's no signature on it. There's nothing.
So therefore,
there's no chain of evidence. In the second place, on an appellate court, which issues 90% of these orders,
now,
on an appellate court, one judge cannot dismiss a case because it's an appellate court. You have to have 2 of the 3 judges consenting before you can dismiss a case. 99.9% of all the cases that are being heard today are being in appellate courts are being dismissed by one judge. I pay good money to the court and to the court to have my case reviewed by an appellate court, an appellate panel. The minimum appellate panel is a 3-judge panel. If you file a motion for a full panel review, then it has to be 60% of however many judges are on the panel have to agree to concur to that opinion, or they have to either write a concurring opinion or a dissenting opinion.
so your cases have never been adjudged or adjudicated because they have not been handled by a judge.
Never been adjudged or adjudicated. I agree 100% in any appellate court whatsoever.
All right. Now, George, as Mason said to Dixon, we have to draw the line somewhere. This is a tremendously vast subject. The mind cannot endure more than this. The mind cannot absorb more than the seat can endure. Now, we've got to draw the line here and pick up at some other time, unless you can see a 5-minute conclusion of what we're trying to impart to the public.
Well, you know, I think the best way, but you know, I'm still going to fight this. I am, you know, right now I have 35. I have presented to the Court of International Justice 30 other cases of people who have been wrongfully deceased of their property, who I have been working with for free for the last 20 years.
Good for you.
Okay? And between those people, they have lost in excess of $500 million to theft by the courts.
Yes, absolutely. I've seen it happen.
So now that I've got this paper together, I just made the video of my filing yesterday. I'm gonna try to forward the video up to your assistant, Gregory, and you know, along with a copy of this what I filed.
All right. Now
and
we've
then,
got.
And then we'll go from there. But now that I've got it, when I get the return receipt back from the International Court, then I will be going down to the halls of Congress and to the House and Senate Judiciary Committee, because none of them have ever responded. They were all asked under freedom of information requested under a direct mailing to their office. All 535 of them. Does this law, has it ever been repealed, modified, or dropped? And, and not one of our legislators has answered this question. So,
wonderful work, George. How can we exit right now? This has gone on a long time. How can we exit?
Well, we can exit with a prayer that God in His infinite wisdom will wake up our American citizens and to start us on an education process where we take back our courts from these mafia-controlled American Bar Association and its members.
All right. What will finish this? Do we read page 4 and page 5? Did you say there was a page 6?
Oh yeah, I've got. Let me just go down and let me see. Wow. Okay, because these are the articles. It's I think I was in Article 10. Okay. Article 11 states, 28, Article 28, which states everyone is entitled to social and international order in which the rights and freedoms as set forth in the Declaration can be fully realized, and once respondents' actions against the petitioner and millions of other American citizens protected under our Constitution and Bill of Rights are being deceased of their properties, their legal rights, and access to justice due to the respondents' agents' failure to honor international treaties supported by the rule of law and international human rights. Article 30 is the last one. It says, which states nothing in the Declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person or any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of these rights and freedoms set forth herein. Petitioner asserts that the respondent's agents have acted in conflict with the terms and conditions of the treaty entered into in the 79th Congress of the United States, violating its intent and purpose, necessitating this body's intervention on behalf of petitioner and 100 million other Americans, being disenfranchised of our rights. Respondents' agents, as stated, ratification is the state's formal expression of the to be bound by a treaty. Only a state that is previously signed the treaty during the period when the treaty was open for signatures can ratify it. Ratification consists of two procedural acts. One, the domestic level, which requires approval of the appropriate constitutional organ, usually the head of the state or parliament.
And page 4?
Huh?
And page 4?
This was actually on, that was on page 4. I've got one more line. The petitioner reinstates for the record and has outlined 12 different articles, B1 through 12, which the respondents have violated in violation of the UN Treaty of 1945 enacted by the 97 Congress. Petitioner to move on with the evidence supporting the petition, as the petitioner is a victim of economic terrorism by respondents' agents. The vast majority of evidence supporting the petition is available to be reviewed through the electronic medium regarding federal proceedings on PACER system allow the panel members to access hundreds of pages of filed electronically in case is cited. Additionally, that the state of Maryland uses MarylandDictionaryCaseSearch.com to review the dockets. The MDAC Maryland Electronic Courts files also allow electronic viewing of documents from remote locations. Petitioner did not want to burden the staff of the commissioner or the investigating arm with documents and papers which are more filed with the court and part of the archived records of petitioner and other victims of the respondents' ongoing pattern of denial of citizens of their rights afforded under the International Human Rights Commission and Tribunal. That's the end of the page 4. Yeah.
That's the end of page 4.
Yes.
All right, now what do you want to do about this? We cannot go on any further. This is too long. You've done a wonderful work.
Well, like I said, I'm going to send you up the...
No, you're not going to send me anything.
I'm going to send it to Gregory.
No, you're not going to send it to Gregory either.
Well, that's the only way you're ever going to get anything out. If you just go, see, that's the problem. Everybody says, well, the best evidence is the videos that you have up there. I've had people review your site lately, and Debbie Mead, she said she talked to you last week. She's extremely impressed with you.
Okay, now what will finish this? Reading page 5 and page 6?
No, because I've got 35 pages that I sent.
George, okay, I give up. Okay, George, I give up.
Okay, so all I can do is tell you what it is, and if you want to come back at a later date and do a couple more pages of it, fine. Most of the 35 pages is the evidence of the other 30-some people who I have listed, and I have taken and tagged on those listings their picture and their contact information and a history of what they did and how many programs I have archived for them. In some cases, I have done over 100 visits to court to some of these victims and been to over 100 of their court proceedings and never got paid a penny for it, because I believe that you have to invest in the future of our nation.
Right, George. Okay, enough for today.
Okay?
Okay, what will finish it? Reading page 5 and 6?
Well, I'm moving into the evidence now. Okay, and basically the evidence is all supporting.
No,
another
please,
25
I've got to
pages,
stop.
25
Enough,
pages.
enough, enough.
Okay.
Tell me again, what is going to finish this?
Just getting it out to the public, that's it. Okay? It can't be done, you know, the best evidence is getting it out to people where people can see it. And, you've done a wonderful job of this over the years. I remember that when you were reading in all your court cases, you were reading them into the record back when we were up in New York together, and at the hearings up there. And like you said,
Well,
you got to keep it out, and you got to be forcible about it.
well, thank you. Your mastery of the law and exposition of it and your complaint is really phenomenal. I'm going to rest from this, and I'll get back to you. This will probably be on Facebook sometime tomorrow,
Okay, thank you.
and YouTube and Twitter.
Okay.
All right, this is a start. This is a start. I am bewildered by it all. And I thank you for standing up for what is right.
Well, you are the one responsible actually for making me get into the videoing of this.
Yes, the video is grand.
You are the one who taught me into putting videos up in a video format and to create Maryland Court Watch News, and that's what I did.
Your efforts are heroic, George. You deserve a tremendous amount of applause.
Well, you know what? I'm just happy God let me get through it. Actually yesterday I lost my wife's car. I blew up the motor coming back from a court trial in St. Mary's County.
You what? You what? Yesterday what?
Yeah, yesterday morning I was on my way to court in St. Mary's County for Michelle Bordelais, and my car stopped, so I bought apart, had it towed to the place, had it fixed, and I drove down it's about at 90 miles from my house.
Oh.
And on the way back, I was driving down the back road, and all of a sudden, the next thing I know, the engine's overheating because it doesn't have any gauges on it. I pulled over and its engine's toast, so I've got to buy a new motor for it because she loves the car.
Oh, that's going to be tough where their money's coming from.
Well, God will provide. I don't worry about it. Didn't even get upset. But,
Okay.
I am just like you right now. I think everything is in the hands of the Lord. And, it happened for some reason yesterday. I might not know what the reason was for another 10 years, but it's in His time.
Yes, you're right about that. George,
Okay?
George, may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely through and through. Amen.
Amen to that too, my dear. And you have a blessed day.
Yes, George, thank you for what you're doing.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye.